Hello, I'm Captain Matt Truitt with the High Point Police Department. We are here to showcase our new Police Department headquarters. Building comparisons. 1009 Leonard Avenue is the location of our former High Point Police Department. 1009 Leonard Avenue was constructed in 1963 as an elementary school. After some expansion and upgrades, the elementary school was converted into a police department in 1985. The address of our new police department headquarters is 1730 Westchester Drive. In 1985, construction was completed on the building as office space for Old Dominion Freight Line. The City of High Point purchased the vacant property in 2018 and began renovating the property in 2019. In addition to the renovation of approximately 56,000 square feet, 20,000 square feet were added on to the rear of the building. The construction and renovation were completed in August 2021. There are many differences between the two buildings, but the major difference is the square footage. Leonard Avenue is comprised of approximately 26,000 square feet, and our new police department is comprised of approximately 76,000 square feet. As you walk into the building, you will enter on the second floor, which is the ground level. And as you come into the lobby, you will begin to notice that there will be a continuation of our High Point Police Department branding that is throughout the building. It'll be in the wall placards, the quartz countertops, and sporadically intertwined through every portion of this building for the blue line that binds us together in this brother and sisterhood in this noble profession that we have chosen. You will also notice the wood grain, our focal points in the lobby. The wood grain is inside and outside of the building. Creech & Associates, who is the architectural firm who designed this building, thought that would be a subtle way to tie in the city's history into this building, for High Point being the furniture capital of the world. This area is where a portion of our civilian employees' workstations are located. The 12 stations or cubicles were designed and put together by KI Furniture, which is located here in the city of High Point. You have heard about local companies in High Point and throughout North Carolina that have been involved in this project. The point of using local companies was to highlight our local talent as well as to place tax dollars back in the local and state areas. This is break room 1 of 5. Each floor, other than the second floor, has one break room. At our former location, there was one break room for 307 employees. Each break room comes equipped with a refrigerator, sink, microwave, and a 46-inch TV. As you begin to walk down this hallway, this is our Patrol Division Supervision, Command, and Executive area. Community Division. These officers and their supervisor are responsible for engaging the community as much as possible to continue to build upon the relationships that we have built as an agency. They also serve the downtown area and assist in High Point's International Home Furnishing Show that brings an additional 75,000 people to our city twice a year. Our gym. The physical fitness area is broken down into two separate areas. We have a cardio room and weight room. Here at the High Point Police Department, we emphasize being physically and mentally fit. The locker room. The lockers are larger so the officers can place their ballistic vest, shirt, pants, duty belt, and boots in the locker and complete their workout. The ladies have 44 lockers and the men have 104 lockers. Each locker room has 2 showers, 3 bathroom stalls, and 3 sinks. History area. As you exit the 3rd floor elevator, you'll notice large department personnel collages on the walls. These were produced every 5 years from 1995 to the present, excluding 2020 due to COVID, and include photos of all police department employees. As you walk down the hallway to the training room, there are 11 older collages of department personnel from 1912 to 1972. As you walk past the training room, you'll notice 7 interior windows. Within each window is a mannequin wearing a High Point Police Department uniform representing 7 time periods from our history. These time periods include 1900 to 1925, 1925 to 1950, 1950 to 1960, a meter checkers uniform from 1950, 1970s, and an honor guard uniform from the 2000s, and a current patrol uniform. Inside the training room, you'll notice a total of 5 display cases. These cases contain pictures, equipment, and memorabilia from the early 1900s to now. One display is devoted entirely to police vehicles from our past. You'll also notice photos from our fallen officers prominently and reverently displayed. Lastly, to maintain some of the history from our former location are the 2 globes that were attached at the main entrance from 1995 to 2021. They now have a permanent place inside the training room for all to admire. High Point Police Department history exhibits will be rotated as new items are discovered for display. Lactation room. This is a dual-purpose room. The initial intended purpose was for this to be the sprinkler room. This is beside our data center in the event of a fire. Chemicals be dispensed to not completely damage the equipment, but to eliminate the spark or fire. The second purpose is for this room to be dedicated to our female employees so they can have a private lactation room. This room has been sponsored by a group of ladies associated with WITH-IT, which stands for Women in the Home Industry Today. Communications. They have 16 workstations. Some of the 16 are planned for future growth. The workstations are equipped with electronic settings so the dispatcher can adjust the height to their desired level. They are also equipped with heat and air for the dispatcher's comfort. For ease of maintenance, the floor is raised and all of the wiring is beneath the floor. The wiring comes up through the floor into the equipment box. Additionally, for the ease of maintenance, the top of the equipment box lifts. The cloud above the workstation is designed to suppress the sound from traveling around the room to not disturb others while on the phone for emergency calls. Administrative area. The administrative area of the building houses our Chief of Police, their administrative assistant, and the police attorney. Across from the Chief's office is our emergency management area. For any small or large-scale events, this area will house those individuals that will monitor the situation. From there, you will move into our Professional Standards Division. This division is responsible for investigating citizen complaints as well as maintaining pertinent department documents. They also work with our recruiting officers to complete polygraphs as a portion of our hiring process. The area across from the recruiting offices has 8 cubicles allocated for future growth of the department. Room 417. Room 417 houses our violent crimes detectives, street crimes detectives, strategic intelligence unit, and each unit supervisors, along with our Crime Stoppers coordinator and our 2 crime mapping analysts. There are 27 workstations in this area. As you exit room 417, you approach the Investigation Division's command and executive staff. Room 420. Room 420 houses our traffic, housing, school resource officer, and property crimes detectives, along with each unit's supervisors. The first office is for our 3 financial crimes detectives. These detectives are cross-sworn with the Secret Service, and they investigate counterfeiting cases as well as frauds. They have very specialized equipment is the reason for their office being separated. You will see 2 supervisor workstations that are allocated for our traffic supervisor and a hit-and-run investigator. The remaining 6 stations are for our traffic, housing, and school resource officers to have a desk and workstation if needed. The back 2 stations are designed for the housing and school resource officer supervisors. These 4 stations are allocated for future growth. The 20 filing cabinets are designated for our property crimes detectives. They can be used in a collaboration area or for storage. They have 12 designated workstations for the detectives and their supervisor. There are 26 workstations in this area. Room 450. Future growth. This area is for planning ahead of the police department expanding in number to reflect the growing population of the city of High Point. On the first floor is our crime lab and property room. In the crime lab, this area houses all of our crime scene technicians. They have their dedicated workstations as well as the supervisor and manager offices. We have a latent fingerprint examiner area that assists in comparing fingerprints that help solve many of our crimes. The drying room contains our 5 drying cabinets as well as our fume hoods. The fume hood helps raise fingerprints from items that the lab processes. Ballistics area. In the ballistics area, detectives will be able to test fire the weapons inside of the building for better analysis of how the gun functions and aids in solving crimes that the gun could have been used in. Property room. Officers will bag and tag their evidence in this area. Once that is completed, officers will submit the items as evidence through the 2-way lockers. The evidence is then processed by the property room techs and stored in the Space Saver evidence area. This product is made by the same company that designed our furniture. Leadership hallway. In August 2020, the department came under new leadership. One of the many changes that were implemented was getting all of the command and executive staff together in a retreat-style meeting to discuss the purpose and vision of the department moving forward. Each member is tasked with presenting a leadership quote. Each year, those members will have their quote displayed on the leadership hallway to help give the aspiring leaders of tomorrow a model and goal to attain. Sallyport. Officers will drive around the property and enter at the rear of the building and drive into the Sallyport. This is a secured area that officers will bring their prisoners into the building. With the high liability of secured areas, 3 cameras will capture all angles of the officer and prisoner interaction. Once the officer and prisoner exit the vehicle, they will walk through this secured area into the prisoner processing area. Once inside, the officer will process the prisoner. As you continue to walk through the processing area, there is an intoxilizer room, 2 interview rooms that are equipped with microphones and cameras by Carolina Video Security. As you continue to walk through this area, there are 4 holding cells in the event there are multiple prisoners that need to be processed. First floor history timeline. The timeline begins with the inception of the High Point Police Department in 1859. As you walk down the timeline, you will see interesting facts and historical information relevant to the High Point Police Department. Some of the information is informative, such as a 1918 photo of our first police car, and some information is humorous, such as in 1905, the fine for throwing a banana peel on the road was $1. The timeline is meant to be a walk through history and should give the viewer a sense of where we have been as a department. The timeline ends in 2021 with us moving into our new building. The timeline itself continues and wraps around the wall for future growth. The hope is that officers who are just beginning their careers will witness the timeline as it expands. Patrol area / assembly room. As you enter through this door, this is the entrance that patrol officers will come through to begin their shifts. As you enter the building, the blue on the wall should grab your attention. The blue is another portion of our branding. The blue in this area is the blue that is in our police patch, and that is a theme throughout the patrol areas of the department. The officers will enter through this door and walk into the assembly room. This room is equipped with 2 86-inch TVs and 2 46-inch TVs. The ceiling has built-in speakers, so when they begin their shift with any information that is needed to be disseminated can easily be seen and heard in this room. Each table has power and a data patch cord, so the officers can bring in their laptops from their cars and plug directly into the network and update any information that they may need to. There is seating for 35 in this room. Canine. There are 10 canine kennels in this area. Each kennel is equipped with a gate as well as a door. The canine officer can raise this door and the dog walks through, and the officer can clean, feed, and water the dog and then raise it back for the dog to come back in its kennel. The top of the kennel can be used for storage for their training aids. The canine officers have a designated washroom for the dogs. They have a dedicated workstation while they are working. Decontamination area. The decontamination area is a room where officers can come to discard contaminated clothing. This room is equipped with a sink, shower, commercial washer, and dryer. Officers will be able to dispose of their contaminated clothing here, and the company will come to retrieve the clothing and dispose of them properly. Vehicle processing. This area is designated to process vehicles that may have been involved in a crime. The vehicle will be delivered, and you simply place the arms under the vehicle onto the frame and lift the vehicle. Unlike the former way we have processed vehicles, this area is climate controlled and has a floor with a drain instead of a dirt floor that has been used in the past. Parking lots. As you pull onto the property, there are 34 marked parking spaces for the public. 4 are allocated for our friends with the media, and 2 are allocated for the Internet Purchase Exchange area. This is a safe, 24-hour monitored way to conduct business on this property. When officers pull through the secured gate, there are 194 parking spaces. 30 of those spaces are marked for patrol parking, and 4 are reserved for our crime lab vehicles. As you enter the elevator lobby, you will see the High Point Police Department mission statement. Our mission is to make High Point the safest city through community engagement, crime fighting, best practices, and training spearheaded by leadership and employee development. And below the mission statement, you will see our Parthenon. High Point Police Department is built upon policy, crime fighting, community, and training. And this all comes back to our foundation, which is leadership and employee development.